everyone. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WVLS, and we have another fantastic show lined up for you. You're watching Open. It's that live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. You can stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Leading things off, we are joined by the co-founder and content manager of Bronx Film 48, who will highlight his team's outdoor film screening fundraising campaign. And so he's here. Please welcome Edwin Torres. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hi, Bob. Thank you so much for having me.
Nice to see you again. How's the crew?
Yeah, we're doing okay. I think we've been holding out fairly well during these trying times, but I think we've come together to create some cool events,
Yeah,
including the fundraiser that is happening now. So yeah, I think we're all doing okay and doing our best.
that's good. Hey, tell us about the outdoor film screening campaign.
Absolutely. So essentially, our biggest goal is that we're trying to raise $20,000 to bring a summer outdoor film festival to the Bronx.
Yeah,
And so what this means is that we would have essentially, if we get to 20,000, we would be able to do events such as drive-in screenings, screenings at public parks, and screenings on rooftops in the Bronx.
I like that. They just had one in Queensbridge about a week ago, and they put up a big screen. They came, and the kids, I think it was Halloween night,
Oh,
and
wow.
kids came out and they watched a nice movie and everything, and it was really, really cool. I think this is a good thing that you guys do. What got you into it? What made you want to start this campaign?
So essentially, I mean, really one of the biggest reasons why we started Bronx Film 48 back in 2019 was to really just elevate the cinema culture in the Bronx because there's already so many places in other boroughs that celebrate film. We wanted to bring that culture to a place that we call home.
Mm, yeah. So how has the Bronx Film 48 continued to thrive throughout the pandemic? Everybody was going crazy. Some people had an easier time, and some people found out that, hey, this Zoom thing, there's something to this.
Yeah. Yeah. So essentially, when the pandemic first happened, we actually got very lucky. We had an event, excuse me, we had a networking event right before the shutdown happened, um, which was crazy. Like the last event I went to without any masks. But
Yeah.
ever since then, we've taken everything. Mostly like our kickoff event was through Zoom. And we turned our 40-hour film challenge into an indoor edition. So essentially, you could be anywhere in the five boroughs, but you had to be in your own home, and we would still give you required elements so that we know that you filmed it during our challenge.
Yeah. So I'm going to give you the camera right about now. And since you need money, you need funds, you can use your power, your passion, and everything to ask for what you need.
Thank you, Bob. So essentially, our biggest thing is that we want to create a culture, not just to show any kinds of films, but we want to show films, uh, independent films. We want to show independent films that are made, that are homegrown, that are made locally by people in the borough. We want to create a space where Bronx filmmakers and independent filmmakers can come together in the Bronx to celebrate film and celebrate independent cinema, whether that's an outdoor, whether you're watching it in a drive-in screening, whether you're watching it on a rooftop, or whether you're watching it in a public park. We want to create a culture where people, can come for free or like very low cost and can enjoy films and can basically possibly inspire the next generation of filmmakers here in the Bronx.
So you need funds.
Yes.
Ask us for it. Go for it.
Essentially, we need people to donate 48. If we got $48 from 400 donations, so if we got $448 donations, we could very well reach our goal to make these things happen. So if each one of you donates $48 and then gets another friend to match that $48, we could very well go over our goal and essentially make these programs a reality here in the Bronx. And
And-
also so
yeah,
that we can keep our overhead going as well, so that we can continue our 48-hour film challenge.
there you go. And well, it's called Bronx Film 48. How
Yeah,
did you get the
exactly.
name?
How do we get the name? So essentially, we in like during our process of kind of like looking for grants and looking for funds, when we first started, we didn't actually have a name yet. We just
Yeah,
wanted to do a 48-hour film challenge in the Bronx. So the Bronx 48-hour film challenge was named before we even had a name. But essentially, when you fill out grants, it's like, oh, we need a title, we need to call ourselves something. So we had a meeting and we just kind of like went through ideas at each other. And then essentially, somewhere in the midst of that brainstorming, we came across Bronx Film 48 because we wanted to stay true to our flagship. Like we run a 40-hour film challenge, but that's not the only thing we do.
that's good. So, all right. So we're raising money. How do we get the money to you?
Essentially, you can visit our website at bronxfilm48.com. And at the top, there should be a tab to click our fundraising campaign, which would take you to our Fractured Atlas page. And there you can make a tax deductible donation. And
There
you
you
can
go.
either commit monthly or you can do a one time donation.
And what's their website again?
Bronxfilm48.com.
What's the deadline for this? What do you need it by?
So our final day of the campaign is Giving Tuesday on November 30th. So we have until then to reach our $20,000 goal. And yeah, we're going to be basically taking all the funds we can get until that time.
And then what happens? You have what what are you going to do with the money? You're going to have a big event or something. What's coming down the pipe?
Yeah. So essentially, we would fund a summer outdoor film festival in 2022. So in
Okay.
2022, we'd have a festival. Essentially, we would still have our 48-hour film challenge, but we would have the screening at possibly one of those outdoor locations that I mentioned, either as a
Yeah.
drive-in or as a rooftop. And we would essentially, what we want to do is that we want to have a beta test to see how well these events do. So we would
Yeah.
have at least one of each of these events, either a drive-in or rooftop or public park screening. And then essentially if those go well and we get more money, we want to keep that going on a yearly basis.
Yeah.
As
Are you
well
doing
as
anything before? Are you doing anything before 2022 to like lead up to it, like little fundraisers here and there?
so essentially we just had an event at the Andrew Freeman home
Ah, off
on
the
the 20,
concourse. Yeah, yeah.
yes, right off the concourse on the 23rd. So we showed three of our best films that won our first place prize in the 48-hour film challenge. And
Uh-huh.
after that, we showed a feature called Pariah, which is directed by Dee Reese, which is an excellent, very powerful, visceral, independent film.
Yeah. Tell us some of the things that you're doing with the 48.
So we we're a community initiative, and our biggest things is that we want to we host networking events, we where filmmakers can come and basically network with each other, make connections. So we can't wait to do that again in person.
Yeah.
We also are we've recently done we did a screenwriting workshop this past in June. We did a screenwriting. We did two workshops on 2 different days where we had experts come in and give a lesson on their best screenwriting techniques and teaching it to an audience. That was a hybrid event. We also we've had a resume workshop last year in 2020 where we had an HR expert come in and basically tell us what the best resumes look like and the techniques to give the best art resume.
Yeah, you'd be
Resume
surprised.
of a filmmaker.
People need those, especially there's a lot of jobs out there right about now. People need those resumes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that up
absolutely.
anywhere?
So yeah, you can essentially right now we streamed one of the screenwriting events, and we also we have a lot of footage of the other events that we're still putting together. But
Yeah.
you can essentially see all the other stuff that we've done on our YouTube page. You can also look up Bronx 148 on YouTube and Vimeo, so you can see some of the events that we've done in the past.
Great. Which film sticks out in your mind that people are most enthusiastic about?
Yeah. For me, I think some of my favorites was last year. we had this film called Double Trouble, which won our first place prize, and
Yeah.
that was really cool because the one of the filmmakers of that is a friend of ours, but he did this really cool technique where he basically made double of himself, and he made it like almost like Eddie Murphy would in his movies.
Yeah.
He made two of himself. He was acting off of himself, which is really impressive, and he made it. Excuse me, he made it with his wife inside his home. So that was during our pandemic challenge, and the plot was revolved around the pandemic, and it was done in a very clever way where it ended on a cliffhanger. It was like, wow, like when's the sequel coming out? I want to know what happens next. So that's a
Wow.
film that I think sticks out to me, and I think the audience really likes.
Beautiful. Edwin, is it posted?
Yes. So all the film, you can see all the films from our first year, second year, and third year on our YouTube channels and Vimeo page. All you have to do is type Bronx Film 48 and we should come up. And they'll be in playlists. So you can basically binge all the movies that have been submitted so far.
And for your fundraiser, you can go to your website, right?
Yes. So you go to bronxfilm48.com and click on donate to our fundraising campaign.
Edwin Torres, Bronx Film 48, co-founder and content manager. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And help them out. Donate. And so you can give back to our community. It's a wonderful thing. Edwin, we'll talk to you in a bit, okay?
Thank you so much for having me, Bob.
We'll take a break right here. We've got more open coming up next.